Hey, and welcome to the Jessica Paul podcast. I'm your host, Jess Paul, actress, manifestation expert, and mindset coach. And I'm here to share with you all of my secrets on confidence, success, and the magic of manifestation. If you're ready to dive in deep and see more success in your career, more money in your bank account, and more love in your life, with a whole new level of freedom, then you're in the right place. I'm letting loose on everything you need to take back control of your life, up-level your mindset, and tap into your manifestation powers. I'm so excited that you're here. Hello, my kings and queens and spiritual besties. Welcome back to another episode of the JP podcast. It's me. It is Jess Paul, your host, your manifestation mentor, your spiritual bestie, your guide, everything for you to manifest the life of your dreams. And I'm so excited to be back with you this week. Oh my gosh. So I've got some life updates, as always, and sponsor for this week. But we're diving in this episode today, guys. Let's get into it because it is a conversation all about confidence, about self-belief, about worthiness, about feeling like that bad bitch, which is everything that I love to talk about. But it's really, we're giving a little bit of a new perspective on how to access these levels of confidence, because you guys know that every up level we go on, it requires new levels of confidence, because that is just how life works. That's how we evolve, right? So this is something I'm always thinking about. But also you got to know that when you're showing up with that level of confidence, your desires are going to be so fucking attracted to you. This is how you're going to manifest so much, because you're showing up with a whole new level of certainty when you're confident in yourself, when you know who you are as a person. So we're going to be chatting today all about this, about a new conversation around confidence and self-belief and tuning in and turning on that bad bitch energy that you all have access to. So I'm very excited to get into it. But first, we have our sponsor for this week. Obviously, as always, guys, you know the score. Our sponsor is, of course, the Mindset, Miracles, and Money program that I've brought out. This is 6 whole weeks with me as your mentor, going in on your money mindset, going in on your wealth consciousness, going in on your career and your career success, and working very closely together with that. So guys, if you have not already got yourselves in, then you've only got a very limited amount of time now, because the sale price is not going to be going on in December. So you've only got about a week left to get in on this sale price. If you want to get a big chunk of money off, then get yourself signed up now and get yourself in there. If you've been eyeing up this course, if you've been eyeing up working with me in general, then now is your chance. So make sure you don't miss out on that sale price. And for those of you that are still sitting on the edge about this and you still don't know whether it's something you want to do, then this is what my free Money Mindset Masterclass is all about. So I'm going to be hosting this on the 21st of this month at 8 p.m. GMT time. So again, go ahead to the show notes, get yourself signed up to that free masterclass. If you're still sitting on the fence about joining this money course with me, then this is going to be your chance to understand a little bit more about what this actually is and if it's going to be the right thing for you. So all the great things are happening, but you've only got a few days left. So hopefully I'll see you guys in there. And any more questions, just drop me a DM. Right, life update then, guys. So I actually yesterday had a Reiki session, and I don't know whether you guys, in fact, drop me a DM over on Instagram if you guys have had a Reiki session in person before, because I know that I've done a lot of energy clearing. I've done Reiki before, but it's always been online. A lot of this work is online nowadays. It's like makes it more accessible for people, but I'd actually never been in person for a proper Reiki session, and fuck me, it was intense, so intense. And actually, the lady that I went to go and see, she was in an area, she lives in an area right near me, and she's called Gori, and oh my God, absolutely beautiful woman. She was just like, God, Jess, like you just tapped into that straight away. And it kind of makes sense, because obviously I've been doing so much energy work myself for so many years that when I get into something like that, it's just like, boom, everything comes to the surface like straight away. So there was a lot of crying. There was a lot of, there was past life trauma being brought up, as well as generational trauma, everything. It was just fucking intense. It was huge. But if anybody's done an in-person Reiki session, let me know in the DMs, because I want to hear your thoughts on this. Obviously it depends who you go to and everything like that, but I'd highly recommend going to see Gori, because if you're in the South Manchester area, obviously guys, my listeners who are across the globe, across the world, I know that's slightly more difficult for you guys, but I just want to recommend it because it was honestly amazing for me. And she just kind of validated and affirmed a few things I already kind of knew, a few things I'd already been working through, past life regression wise. I mean, like, she wasn't doing a past life regression on me, but it kind of felt like that, because I'm a very visual person. Like, I see a lot of visuals when I do any kind of meditations, any kind of energy clearing work. And that's how I receive most of my messages too. So it was very interesting actually, because my grandpa came through, and my grandpa's, passed on years ago. I've not seen him in years and years and years. Like, he passed on very early on in his life, and he came through, and it was kind of insane, because Gori actually said to me, she was like, it feels like you're holding on to a lot of grief that your grandpa actually wants you to work through. And this was so interesting to me. And actually, guys, like, I keep saying I'm going to do a few more episodes on diving into more of this spiritual side, diving into more of this, accessing things like past lives and spirit guides and your angels and things like that. And believe me, it's coming. It's coming on the podcast, because so many of you have recommended it. But I found it really, really interesting. However, my God, right, I'm looking at the time now. What time is it? It is 3:30 in the afternoon whilst I'm recording this. I only got out of bed about 3 hours ago. Like, I could not move this morning. And even last night, I was so drained, like, because this is what can happen when you do any kind of energy work, any kind of clearing work. You have these like ascension symptoms that go on. It's kind of like ascension sickness. That's what I'd kind of call it, where afterwards you feel worse. But that's basically just your body clearing this stuff out, clearing the energy out. And it's like when the gunk comes to the surface. So this is like when I work with a lot of my clients, this is how my clients can feel as well. Like, it gets worse before it gets better. And it was so interesting to me, because I've done so much energy work myself, that when I got in that room physically in person with Gori, and she was like, there are things that, she was like, you're such a clear, open channel. Like, you were so receptive straight away. However, there are things you're holding on to that you might not know about. And it was so interesting to find out for me. So I would highly recommend, basically, guys, get yourselves in on a Reiki session. I'm going to see if Gori wants to come on the podcast, because I think it'd be really interesting to have her on. But if not, then I'm definitely going to get some Reiki masters on the podcast, because it's so great. I love this work. I love healing work in general. Just the amount that you invest into this healing work, guys, is testament to the amount of success you see in life. I swear to God. So that's my little life update. If anybody has their own experiences of Reiki, let me know in the DMs, like I said, because I'd be really, really intrigued to hear. But anyway, let's get into today's episode. So we want to chat all things confidence, success, self-belief, empowerment, bad bitch energy, how to tap into this, how to tune into this, because this is all it really is, guys. It's a process of turning it on, switching it the fuck on. Because if we can tune in to deeper levels of confidence and show up more in our life and in our career, and basically just feel into that empowerment of not giving a fuck what anybody else thinks, and going after what it is that you want, and going after that with so much consistency. Because listen, we're human at the end of the day. I always go through stages where I'm like having a little wobble, or having like, a little doubt come in. That's normal, that's fine. But this level of consistency with your confidence, and just that energy of confidence and empowerment, that's something that is going to attract in your desires. Like, you're literally going to be at a frequency that your desires are so attracted to. The universe loves it. And like I said before, it's because you've got another level of certainty going on in your life. When you're confident about something, when you really know something, when you believe that you're an expert in something, you believe that you've got this shit covered. When you know that about yourself, you are so certain. And when you're certain in your energy, that means your desires are like, okay, well, I want to be on that certainty because I know that she's not going to wobble and she's not going to doubt me and I'm going to be safe there, basically. Your desires are going to feel safe with you. But that level of confidence though, guys, is what you've got to know. Every single one of you has access to it right now. A lot of people ask me all the time, Jess, how do you show up with this level of confidence? How are you always showing up with consistency, not gonna fuck what people think? I wish I could do it like you do. I get this a lot. And honestly, guys, the reason that I can show up as this confident version of me now is because I fucking practiced it. And this is the thing that I think most people get confused about when it comes to empowering yourself and feeling this confidence and tuning into that bad bitch energy, is that like we all have it within us. Like every single one of you right now listening to this podcast, you all have that element within you. Yes, we all show it in different ways. Like I express my confidence. I speak a lot. So I've got a podcast. Like I'm good at talking. I'm very good at expressing myself in that way. I've got a very open throat chakra, which by the way, guys, I practiced opening. Only a few years ago, I went through like a couple of very bad years, a large number of years where I had zero self-confidence, like where I genuinely did not believe in myself at all. And I had to practice it. And now I use this word practice because it is very different to working at it. And I'm going to explain why. And this is actually a conversation I had with a member of my community the other day over Instagram, because I put up a little Q&A over Instagram, and one of my members of community just said, okay, Jess, how can I feel more worthy? And self-worth and like worthiness really ties into this whole conversation on confidence and bad bitch energy, because if you don't feel you're worthy, then you're not going to have that level of confidence. It's all the same thing. It's all just energy. And this is the point that I'm going to make here. The fact is, you can't work at being more confident. You can't work at being more worthy. You can't work at being that bad bitch because you've already got that within you. You're quite literally born with it. Like this is something that we all have access to within us. And so rather than kind of viewing this as, okay, well, how do I work at being more confident in, whatever you're doing at the moment. And again, guys, you could all be in a different place right now. Some of you might have just come across this podcast and you might be just thinking, okay, well, I just want to believe in myself again because I'm in a low place right now. Or some of you might have been working with me for freaking years and you know who you are. But you're like, okay, but I want to reach a new level, because with every new level becomes this requires like new levels of confidence, right? Wherever you're at right now, you all have access to that right now. It is just energy. Self-belief, confidence is just energy. And it is a constant stream that is flowing through you. And so rather than looking at it as though I've got to tick off these things on a list to be more confident in life, you got to look at it and go, well, how do I actually just let these feelings come up? How do I actually just allow these feelings to come to the surface? How do I actually just stop suppressing them? Because that's all it really is. We go through life having life experience, guys. And again, I'm going to get into it in a second, like why we don't want to get into a place of victimhood. But we go through life experience that can knock us back. And I see so often that people blame other people or blame their circumstances for how they feel, how low in confidence they are, or how, they don't love themselves. The fact is, you're in control of this. You are 100% in control of how you think and feel. And so what you've got to know is actually like, there's not a lot of work required because you already have this energy within you, every single one of you. And if, again, and I've said this before, if you see it in other people as well and you admire it, like let's say, for example, you see me showing up every single week on this podcast, or you see me showing up in my business, if you're like an entrepreneur and you're like, I wish I could show up with that level of confidence. If you're seeing that, it is a sure sign that you have that within you too. Like the universe is literally throwing it in your face. Like you have got this. You need to harness this. You need to hold this. And so honestly, that is this process. It's not about working towards being more confident. It's about allowing your confidence to the surface. And this is literally just a fucking decision, right? We decide it. We get to choose when we tune into this emotion. We get to choose when we turn it on because we already have it within us. So if we want to embody that version of us, this is what I mean by playing in the quantum. When we play in this quantum field, we literally have the ability to go from zero self-worth, very low in confidence, to feeling like that bad bitch overnight. You know, that's how long it has to take. Like, you get to decide right now to feel that way about yourself. And when you do play in this quantum space, what basically happens is you speed up your vibration so much that you move with the universe. You stop moving against it. And that's when things flow in quickly. But what you've got to know about the quantum is that once you've decided what it is that you want, whether that is that self-belief and that confidence, when you've decided it, you have to tune in straight away. You can't sit on it and wonder why you're not feeling that way, why everybody else around you is feeling that way. You've got to just fucking go for it straight away. That is playing in the quantum. And that means, guys, this is where the practice comes in, not the work because you already have it, but the practice because you've got to do whatever it freaking takes to become that version of you. You've got to do whatever it takes. That means going in on the shadow work. That means going in on the inner healing, energy clearing. Go and do a reiki session. Go and pay for those things. Go and invest in those things. Get yourself a manifestation coach. Get yourself in on the course that I've just brought out. Go and do those things for yourself, whatever it takes. Work on your self-love, if that's where you're at. Work on what it means to truly fall in love with yourself again. That's where I started. And that's the foundation of all of my work, right? You've got to do whatever it takes to become that version of you if you want to play in this quantum. And honestly, because you already have access to the energy, because you're born with it, there's actually not that much that you have to do. All that you've got to do is be consistent, you know? So for example, guys, like let's just put it into some like real 3D examples for you. So when I was first working on my confidence and my self-belief years ago, when I genuinely had zero self-worth and I didn't believe in myself at all, I went through a number of very hard years. And when I first started, all I had to do was consistently love myself every single day. Consistently work on that inner healing every single fucking day without fail. And not just turn up for a few healing or manifestation challenges maybe on TikTok or something and then just think that that was it and my life has changed. No, it meant like doing the deep work every single day consistently. Now, that got me to the point of being able to set up my own business. And that's amazing. And then I reached this point and I was like, wow, okay, like I've really shifted in my identity. But here's the thing, this confidence and this self-belief has to shift with you with every up level that you have. So for me, I set up this business, I was doing well, but then I was like, okay, well what's my next level then? And so I had to again work at that, I already had it within me, but I had to practice those things, whatever I needed to do to get to that point, to get to that version of me. And that looked like in my life, in my 3D life, I'd set up this business. Okay, now I want to write a sitcom. Now I want to be on TV as an actor. Okay, right, well, what do I do next? Now I'm moving to freaking LA and I'm going and I'm shifting. And that, by the way, guys, I have my own doubts about, and I have felt, those wobbles in confidence and, is it going to work out for me? Who the fuck cares? Because at the end of the day, I get to choose when I turn on my confidence. So that's all it really is, guys. You're born with this energy within you and you have access to it right now. Getting access to that is a literal choice. It is your decision right now to play in that quantum. And if you want to play in that quantum, that's how you make these big shifts very, very quickly. And in this realm as well, when you're actually going in on fucking practicing it, because that is the main thing here, you don't have time. We don't have time to feel like a victim. We don't have time to be in this space of victimhood, because when you're being the victim, when you're constantly asking, why is it not working for me? Why can't I be like that other person? Why can't I have that much confidence that other person has? When you're talking in that way, all you're doing is slowing this energy down. And you're not matching the frequency of someone that has those levels of confidence and those levels of self-belief. For me now, when I'm in this bad bitch energy, I don't even fucking see what anybody else is doing. I'm just so on my own lane. And I know myself so much. And this is why I make self-love the foundation for all of the work that I do. This is why it's such a big deal, because if you don't know how to love yourself, then you're going to find it really, really difficult to show up, because it's all tied together. Your self-worth, your self-love, your confidence, it's all tied in. And if you don't know how to love yourself, you're going to find it really difficult to show up with that consistency. So I make a point of laying those foundations in all the work that I do, and for myself with every new up level that I'm going on as well, because it requires those new levels of confidence. So do whatever it takes. Do whatever is fucking required of you to access this version of you, because this version of you is within you already. And all you've got to do is just bring her to the surface. So do whatever it takes. Go in on that inner work. Go in on that shadow work. Go through these courses. Do these things for you. You've got this free masterclass that I'm hosting in a week. Go in on that. No, in a few days. Go in on that masterclass. Get yourselves inside there. Make sure you're there. Because these things that you can do to practice this out of you, this is what's going to see your desires flow to you. Like I said at the start of this episode, your desires, your manifestations are going to be so damn attracted to you when you're in this level of confidence and certainty and ability to show up. And it's honestly how I've seen so many things flow to me, because I'm consistently, without fail, showing up every day in this energy. So make sure that you are doing those things that are helping you become that version of you. Do whatever it takes. And just know that actually you've already got this within you. You were born this way. So that's just really fucking empowering to know. But you guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. And if you do want to get in on this brand new coaching container with me, then make sure that you go and check that out as soon as possible, because the prices are going to be going up. The sale price is only on for another week. So get yourselves in on my show notes, have a little read of it. This is the first time in ages I've done a coaching container, and we're going in for 2023. I hope to see some of you guys there. So sending you all lots of love. Go and be the bad bitches I know that you all are. And I will chat to you all next week. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend who you think would love it too. And if you want to let me know how you found it, just screenshot this episode, add it to your Instagram story, and tag me at I am Jessica Paul, so that I can throw all the love right back at you. And of course, subscribe, hit those 5 stars, and leave a review to show your support and to keep the good stuff coming. Sending you so much love and gratitude from your girl Jess.